Hi everyone, welcome to another Facebook Live for Dirt Dog Sports. Here's your amigo, like always, Arnold Santiago, and we have a great one for you today. We got softball, and I know all the girls can't wait to hear about softball. We've been doing a lot of baseball too, but I mean, this one for us, it's gonna be very special because the special guest that we have, I mean, it's a real treat for all of you girls and for the parents and for the coaches. I mean, this is somebody that once we start talking with her and you start knowing her career, you're definitely gonna be like, wow, we got to hear from one of the biggest one in not only for Puerto Rico softball but for the world. I mean, literally from the world of softball. She's that big. She's her career. It's amazing. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But before we start, we always have Don Connor here with us. But today, we're gonna have him a little virtual. So we're gonna call him virtual Don Connor. So let's see what Don had to say.
Karla, how you doing? This is Don Connors, owner of Dirt Dog Sports. I personally want to reach out and thank you for making time in your busy schedule to just once again share your career, your growth within the game, your professional experience from growing up to your great career in college to your international play, as well as playing pro in Italy. So some great stuff. I know our boys and girls are looking forward to hearing from you. And once again, in these tough times, the more we can kind of sit down, listen, and learn from each other, it'll be better for everyone involved. So once again, thank you very much for your time. You're in great hands with Alex and Arnold. And actually, I look forward to catching the full interview once you guys wrap it all up. So once again, thank you for your time, and look forward to hearing from you.
I know you guys like me. We miss Don. We miss Don being here with us, but it's okay. He'll be he always gonna be with us no matter how he finds a way. So that was Don Connor, the owner of Dirt Dog Sports. And I think we don't gonna make you wait. We're not gonna make the girls and the boys and the parents wait and the coaches. We're gonna straight in for our special guest. But before we bring her, I want you to know a little bit about her. So, Alex.
Yo vengo desde una tierra donde han nacido grandes cantores, músicos, grandes poetas, mujeres bellas, compositores.
Tierra donde el gallo canta, arropado de cundiamores. Yo vengo de Puerto Rico, yo soy boricua, señores. Yo soy de donde el sinsonte canta en el monte su melodía. Tierra del jíbaro humilde que nunca se rinde con fe y valentía.
Tierra pequeña en tamaño, pero grande en sus valores. Yo vengo de Puerto Rico, yo soy boricua, señores.
Y de allí salí para el mundo entero, llevando un cantar sincero en mi alma y en mi voz.
Mi orgullo siempre ha sido mi bandera, que he llevado donde quiera con respeto y con honor.
Yo soy de donde el sinsonte canta en el monte sus melodías. Tierra del jíbaro humilde que nunca se rinde con fe y valentía.
Tierra pequeña en tamaño, pero grande en sus valores. Yo vengo de Puerto Rico, yo soy boricua, señores.
Well, let's welcome to our show the one and only Karla Claudio. Carla, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you, Alex, for that video. And thank you to Dirt Dog Sports for this great opportunity.
Well, first of all, we're going to let everybody know that you are right now where?
I'm in Venezuela,
Okay, so
Caracas, Venezuela.
girls and boys, look at this trip that we got. I mean, she's doing it from Venezuela, and like what I always tell everybody, remember, Karla Claudio from Puerto Rico, kind of like me, you guys know. So it's our second language, So we are gonna do our best to try to make sure you
Hmm.
guys, enjoy this moment with us. Well, Carla, tell everybody, of
Thank
course, from Puerto Rico, but tell everybody, from the city that you were born, your first few years of your life. How was it? Like, you were always playing softball? You were playing all the sports? How you started around sports?
Well, I was born in Cagua, Puerto Rico, but I was raised in San Lorenzo. I lived in San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico my whole life. I started playing sports when I want to say like 6. I started playing volleyball. I didn't start playing baseball. I didn't start playing softball. I like volleyball right at the start. And my dad played baseball for a long time. He was a double A baseball player in Puerto Rico. For those of you who don't know, the double A league in Puerto Rico is actually really competitive. And it's funny because my mom wanted me to play baseball with the boys, but my dad didn't. So that's something that I've always thought is really funny. But I started with volleyball, and then, I mean, I watched a ton of baseball when I was little. Obviously, going to my dad's game and everything. So I learned a lot. I was one of those kids who was always on top of the dugout, just cheering on my dad. Making sure I was paying attention to everything that was going on. And when the game ended, I always ran around the bases. I always played with my catch with my dad and stuff like that. So baseball just runs in my blood. Yeah, that's my daddy and my mom. My mom didn't play sports, but she's my number one supporter. She didn't know when she first started dating my dad. She didn't know what a home run was. She didn't know what a base hit was. Nothing like that. But she's always been our number one supporter. So we're super thankful for her. But I mean, baseball always ran in my blood. It just did. I played volleyball. I loved it. But when I was about 9 years old, I think one of my teachers or one of my uh, friends from school came to my house asking me to go to one of her softball practices. And I had already played catch with my dad with the softball at my house, kind of try it out to see if I liked it. Then my friend came over. She was like, "You should come practice with us." So I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And the girls were much older than I was, but I mean, I was a little scared, but I was also excited at the same time because I thought I was going to play the sport that I actually liked. So I tried it. I was hit in the forehead my first practice. So those of you who went through the same thing, it's okay. With a little bit of practice, you'll get there. But yeah, the ball hit me in the forehead, but that didn't stop me. I practiced that day, and it never stopped. I still played volleyball because I really liked it. I like both sports a lot. So I played volleyball in high school too. I played both things. I got a scholarship, half softball, half volleyball. But then when it came to college, I had to make a decision. So I kept playing softball, and I was a little better at softball than volleyball.
No.
But yeah, I played a little bit of everything. I even did chess when I was in middle school. Everything. I think the only thing I didn't do was maybe soccer, but I tried
Okay.
everything out. I was one of those girls who was really competitive, just wanted to do everything. Even if I wasn't good at it, I just wanted to try it out and just, you know, be
Well,
competitive.
well, first of all, let me remind everybody when the Double A Puerto Rico, the amateur league that Carla is talking about, her dad Carlos Claudio, one of the best players in the history of the game. That's the same league that Alex, you guys that know Alex as coach in Dirt Dog, the same league that he played for the same amount of time. I think they both play almost 20 years, or who knows,
Yeah.
because they started so young back then, and they played to the end, buddies. But I mean,
Hmm.
it's a very rough league. I mean, if you're not ready for that, if
Hmm.
you're gonna have trouble. So if you play more than 10 years, trust me, you are pretty good. And Carla went to
Yeah.
those games a lot, so she
Oh,
knows
yeah.
how it is. And the fans
Yeah.
are woo fans. I mean, that's
Hmm.
just at another level.
Yeah.
But
It
it's
gets intense.
yeah, I know. But it's nice because we always trying to tell the boys and the girls, both of them, always try to make sure that you play all the sports. I mean, of course, if you like baseball, that's your sport. It's okay,
Hmm.
perfect, awesome. But make sure you play all the
Yeah.
sports because without you knowing, when you're
Absolutely.
growing up, without you knowing, that other sport might help you to be more athletic at baseball,
Exactly.
softball, and all that. and it's great. I mean, you are definitely one of the best ones that ever play softball in Puerto Rico and around the world. But look,
Thank
you play volleyball. I mean, your mind pretty much was thinking, well, I like volleyball. I'm gonna do volleyball. Baseball and softball was something that just fell on your lap, pretty much, we could say, because somebody invite you. Maybe if you didn't get that invitation, you might take you a little longer to go. But
exactly.
definitely, I mean, it's a good tip for the girls and the boys.
Yeah.
Another person that we bring here that it tells you that it's okay to play other sports, especially here where we are in Massachusetts. We only play maybe like 6 months if we're lucky outside because of the weather. So we always
Yeah.
tell the kids, encourage the kids, play other sports. And I'm pretty sure, Carla, volleyball how to help you more than you ever probably thought when you were playing baseball. I mean, you had to notice when you
Yeah.
start playing softball.
Absolutely. Yeah. All the coordination and all that stuff, like all the jumping, all the shuffling, all that stuff that you have to do when you play volleyball, that definitely helped me when I started playing softball. Definitely.
Okay, so when was the age for Carla Claudio when she said, mom, dad, I'm pretty good at this, and I think I could get something out of this because, of course, you're playing softball, and in Puerto Rico there's a lot of leagues and all this stuff, but we're not from the states, so our mind doesn't run
Right.
that way of getting a scholarship. We really don't know how to that work yet. So when was the time that you say, mom, dad, I think I could get a scholarship out of this. I could go to the United States. I could, who knows, do all this stuff. What was that age, and what was your preparation after
Um,
telling yourself, "This is it. I'm gonna try this"?
right. So I'm a product of the Little League. I for those of you who don't know, in Puerto Rico, that's probably the most like official league that we have. The federation has leagues that we play locally and every now and then. But back then, and I think it still is, the league that you wanted to play, Little League because that's where the best competition always was. So when I was around 11, 12, 13 maybe, um, I was a guest player for Maunabo because they always every year they won the national championship. So they always invited me to go with them to the regional championship and then go to the Little League World Series. So that's something I never went through with volleyball. I played volleyball in Puerto Rico, maybe just locally in San Lorenzo. I never really played, outside of San Lorenzo. I never played at the national level. So when I traveled with Maunabo, when I was I think 13, we went to Seattle, Washington, and that's where they have the World Series for the junior leagues, which is like 13, 14 when you're 13 and 14 years old. Um, I went there and there were a bunch of college coaches watching, and I couldn't believe what was happening because I had no idea that you could be recruited when you were that little. So when they explained to me, they were like, Heather Tarr is here. Heather Tarr is the head coach for the Washington Huskies for the softball team. Heather Tarr's here, and this coach here, and this coach here. I'm like, you can get scholarships, when you go to college. So little by little, I was like, okay, I play volleyball, but I think softball. I'm a little, like I said, I was better at softball. And then when I start seeing all these things and all these coaches and how the system worked and how the process was and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go, all out and just make sure I prepare for when my time comes. I don't think at that time I don't think that they were recruiting when you were that little. But recently, obviously, you've seen, I don't know, in baseball, but in softball, you can get recruited when you're, I mean, the rules change, but I know people who've gotten recruited when they're 11, 12 years old. So, yeah, when I started seeing all that, I was like, you know what, I think I can get something out of this. And I started preparing myself and start traveling still with Maunabo. And then I started asking my dad, hey, can we go to the field? Even if I didn't have to practice, if I didn't have practice with my team, I still wanted to go to the field, hit, throw, pitch, whatever it was. I used to pitch against my neighbor's fence because I was that excited about maybe getting a scholarship and, making it out of Puerto Rico and just facing the best of the best because I knew, I was very conscious that the best talent was in the United States, and so it happened.
And that, I mean, and for the ones that are at Dirt Dog, all the boys and girls, and all the parents and the coaches, I want you guys to understand one thing: Caguas from San Juan, we're talking what, maybe like 45 minutes, 40 minutes. I mean, well,
Yeah.
of course, if you have traffic, it might be an hour or
With
something.
traffic.
But let's say, for example, she has to get in a car for 45 minutes. Then she gets in a plane, and when it says Seattle, Washington, I mean, we're talking. It feels like all
Far.
day traveling. So there's no way
Far.
Carla probably thought a trip like this, it's gonna be the one that is gonna show me definitely, we could do this and we could get a scholarship and all that. So I want all the girls and boys to know how life is sometimes. And we get, like you said, you wanted to try it, you went for it. But we always have some, girls and boys that are thinking, should I do it? I'm a little worried, I'm scared, I don't know. Maybe the competition is too rough for me. But I mean, Carla went ahead and did it. And I mean, like we always tell you, girls and boys, just go ahead and do it. Do it all. I mean, just give it all you got. See what happens. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. You keep trying, keep getting better. And then if everything goes right, then like Carla said, you go home and you practice, you find a way and sacrifice. Carla, I'm pretty sure you sacrifice a lot of moments. Talking about like friends, going maybe to movies, places, but you had a goal in your mind. You had a talent that you wanted to explode and try to see if you could do it, and you gave it all you got, and it's part of it. I mean, I know it sounds weird sometimes, but sacrifice is part of it.
No,
Right now, she's in Venezuela, and I
I
think she's been there for like 3 months. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't her plan. That was not her plan, but
No, it wasn't.
it's part of the situation, and it's part of
Right.
her journey. It's part of your journey, what you're trying to accomplish. All right. So finally, you get a scholarship. Where did you start? In what college did you start? How was your first few years in college? And then I do know you went to a lot of places. So let everybody know about your college career.
So I went to Santa Fe College in Gainesville, Florida. It's a junior college. Um, it's funny. I don't know in baseball, but in softball, I know in Puerto Rico they're like scared about going to junior colleges. I'm not sure why, or maybe I do know. But I was originally, I
Hey,
was
hey,
originally,
don't worry, Carla. I went to a junior college. Don't worry about it. We
yeah,
know that. We
I don't regret it at all. Like I'll explain. I verbal to Miami-Dade College. That was the first step. They saw me playing in Puerto Rico. They liked me. They wanted me to sign. They were the number one junior college, the number one softball team in the nation at that time. So I really liked that they were competitive, that they were the best program, all of that. That was great. But then I realized, from my one of my friends' experience and just from just hearing other people talking, I realized that it wasn't a good fit for me. I wanted to sign, I wanted to go to college, and I wanted to be with coaches who wanted me to be a good player, but more than that, a better person. I wanted to, yeah, softball obviously was a priority, but I wanted people who wanted the best for me. I didn't want to go to college just to get a national title, get a ring, get, all that stuff, get an All American. Yeah, that was great, but I wanted people who wanted the best for me, and I found that at Santa Fe College. They recruited me when Chris Ahern and Norma Diaz. They're in love with Puerto Rico. So they were in the island. They, gathered like 4 or 5 girls. We met in Roosevelt baseball field. We had a little tryout, and I said yes. Right there. They spoke. This wasn't the reason why, but They spoke perfect Spanish, and that to me, was a plus. They explained everything. Santa Fe College is one of the best academically junior colleges in the nation. That was really attractive to me because my parents always encouraged me to, okay, you can go and we support you, but you got to get back home with a diploma. And so that was really important for me. So I signed. I had 2 amazing years there, and this is something I tell the girls all the time. I think personally, if I would have, maybe I had the talent to go D1, but what fit me, what fit Karla Claudio at the time was the junior college. Everything about the junior college was good for me. It was a small town. It was a small college. I didn't know how to speak English. I was by myself. all that came into play. And so Santa Fe College was a great fit. Gainesville's a small town. It's a college town. I'm not too far from Orlando. And so I had 2 great years there. Like I said, I don't regret going junior college at all. Um, I was all American, first team all conference, all that. I had my AA, which is my associate in arts. I did it in biological sciences, and then from there I transferred to the University of South Florida with Coach Erickson. The way he recruited me, I think he watched me play with Team Puerto Rico, throughout the years. But every fall at Santa Fe we scrimmaged USF. We went down to Tampa. We scrimmaged against them, and I think he watched me play for those couple of years. And he talked to my coaches. They emailed whatever. He told me he wanted me to commit, and I mean USF is a great institution, is a great school, and a great softball program. I mean, who wouldn't want to play for Team USA? Softball coach, the head coach for Team USA. So I had 2 great years there. Got my bachelor's degree in health sciences, and that was my 4 years out of San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico, with a bachelor's.
We could see you there. The main thing is what you just said at the beginning. It's what fits Carla Claudio. It's what fits
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Wow, don't be afraid to get jammed. No, that's good. That's good. I didn't know it was a home run. I thought it was just a regular video, but no, Alex, you're pretty good. But it's what fits Carla Claudio. It's what fits each individual. I did pretty much the same as you. I prefer to go to a small place. It
Right.
don't matter. I mean, I got a lot of NCAA's Division One. They wanted me, but for some reason I was the same way. I felt like I'm a quiet person. I wasn't gonna
Right.
be with my family. I didn't know the language that well, so I prefer to, even if I had to start one place and then go
Mm-hmm.
transfer like you did to another one. That was my idea. Got drafted after 2 years, so then I signed professional. But my idea was the same way as you, and I think the girls and the boys that are watching this interview, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are the same way too. Maybe you're a little worried. Well, if I tell mom and dad, they might get mad because they want me to go someplace. It's what
Yeah.
fits you. It's what makes you feel
Right.
better. So don't be afraid to say, "Hey, mom, dad, I want to do this first. I want to go here first. I know myself. I think it'll be a lot easier for me to do this, and then if I have to transfer to another one, go ahead and do it." So, Carla, kudos to you because you did it. And I know it's not an easy decision when you get all these big schools all over you to pick one that is small. You're gonna hear a lot of people saying why you're gonna waste your time to go there and that and that. But no, you
Right.
stick to it and you did it. I mean, and you have
Right.
a heck of a career. So how was that? How was your experience when they tell you you are gonna be part of the national team, Puerto Rico national team? That first time that you got that news that, hey, you made the team.
I mean, you don't know. I don't know if you could tell by my smile and how excited I get when you ask me a question. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, I started with the junior program. I started playing for the 16 and under program.
Okay.
We had what we called the base. So it started with me, Alemoli Lopez, Monica Santos, Galis Lozada. We had a base back then. It was like around 2007, I think. I started with them, and I moved up to 19 and under. And then in 2008, when I was still with the 16 and under team, I played. The adult team called me. They were like, "We want to play," and they called me to come here to Caracas with them. They had this the Venezuelan national team that year. They qualified to go to Beijing to the Olympics. So they called me and they were like, "They have this invitational tournament in Caracas. We want you to come with us." It wasn't an official tournament, but the fact that they wanted me to come with them, it was a good start for me. I was like 14, 15 maybe. So it started with that, and then I played with 19 and under. We had all those tournaments, qualifiers, and everything. Then in 2011, I got the call to play in the Pan American Games in Guadalajara. That was my first official um, tournament with them. I was part of the program for a while before that, 3 years, 4 years before that. But the official tournament was
Okay.
2011 Pan American Games in Guadalajara, and then it started from there.
I mean, wow, man. I mean, guys, like I always tell you guys, girls and boys, everybody, parents, I always do it too. You guys don't know how amazing it is for us, a little island, when you make your national team. I know, of course, United States they have Team USA, but you girls and boys know how tough it is. It's so big, but in Puerto Rico, we're so small. We're not, we don't have a lot of talent just to fill up a few teams. So to be able to be in that thing and make it, I mean, it's wow, man. I know how Carla feels because I was the same way. Put that shirt on, the Puerto Rico. I mean, it's amazing. But Carla, I mean, let's talk a little bit because I mean, the national team, you even ended up being the captain of that team. I mean, that had to be another dream that probably you weren't even thinking about it. That's not a dream that you think, oh, I want to be the captain of a team, a national team. Well, no, never. I mean, that'll be amazing too. But how great was the first time you won a medal for Puerto Rico? Just a medal.
Mm. Um, I guess that the journey started in 2008. So my first medal was in 2015. So you can imagine, how that felt. It was in the Pan American Games in Puerto Rico. When you go to a Pan American game, when you go to Central American Games, it's like you go to the Olympics, pretty much. So, and Pan American Games, I always call it, or people who ask me, oh, like, what's that about? It's like a mini version of the Olympics,
Yeah.
pretty much. You go to a village, you stay with athletes from all over the continent, and from the Canada, United States, from North America, South America, whatever, all that. And so in Toronto, 2015, we won our first medal, our first bronze medal, and it meant a lot because we still had part of the base, and that team. We had Monica Santos. We had girls on that team who started with me back in 2008, and winning a bronze medal at a Pan American game, it was a pretty big deal, and the fact that we did it against a team like Cuba, we had to beat them. To win that medal. And to us, that wasn't easy because Cuba at the time, they still have their veterans, but at that time, that year, they were still, kind of at their prime, at their peak, and so it was a great experience to say the least.
And that, I mean, for you people listening to this interview, Puerto Rico, nobody gave them a chance to win anything in that one in 2015. I mean, I think if they would finish sixth or eighth, people would go crazy because I mean they weren't picking that team to even be nowhere. They get the bronze medal, so it's been almost like 25 years since Puerto Rico won a medal in softball with the girls softball. So I mean that was just way too big. So I just want everybody that is listening to the interview to know that what Carla accomplished with her teammates was something big. But then in 2018, something happened. I mean, plus you did something to make sure that happened. I mean, how was 2018? Tell everybody what you guys did in 2018.
So what I didn't say about Toronto was that um, in 2011, I think it was the last year that the old generation uh, of that team. That was their last tournament from 2012 on. That's where the younger girls started taking over. The team. So we had a really young team, like you said. And then in 2018, we went to Barranquilla, Colombia, and that's where we had our Central American games. And like I said, when you're from Puerto Rico and you win a medal at these tournaments, it's like you win a medal at the Olympics. Um, People take pride in what you do in those tournaments. So I took it very. I mean, I always do. Like, took it very seriously, and I wanted to go. My goal was to get out of Barranquilla with the gold medal. It wasn't easy. It was tough. I mean, we got beat by Mexico twice in like the regular round, and then we had to beat Cuba the day before the gold medal game. We had to beat Cuba, and I think Mexico where we had to beat Cuba and then play the next day, beat Mexico to win that gold medal. I mean, it was hard. I mean, it was incredible winning a gold medal. To me, it was just the result of all the sacrifice through all those years. It had been 10 years in the making, pretty much. The fact that
Look
I
at
did
that.
it, um,
I don't know how that felt. I don't know how that
a home
felt, but
run.
that feels good.
No, no. I mean, it was an incredible feeling. And there's like, if you look up my name on Google, you probably see pictures of me crying and crying and crying because I mean, it was incredible. It was just I cried and I just kept thinking about all the sacrifice, all the things that we had to do to get to that point. Um, the fact that I did it next to the people who had been there with me from the beginning, people like Elaine Lopez, Gali Lozada, Dayanira Diaz, Yaeli Munoz, Kiana Diaz was an important part. She hasn't been with us for that long, but it almost feels like she has. She's like to me, she's like my sister, and that's the important thing to me. That you do it next to people, with people that feel just as much pride as you do when you play for Puerto Rico. So
I
we
mean
had
that
to.
that 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 part of that's a perfect thing that you said for all the young ones. The chemistry and the love for each other. It don't matter where you're playing at. You could be playing like a dirt dog sport. You're playing a season. It don't matter
Hmm.
where you're playing. I mean, if you guys could get together, like we always tell you, that chemistry. I mean, you can't measure that. There's no way to
Hmm.
measure that. Help each other out. Make sure that if somebody says something, you could listen to it. Make sure you
Right.
could take either if it's something bad or good, you just take it and make
Hmm.
sure that you tell yourself, this is for the team. We're doing it for the team,
Right.
so that's pretty good, Carla. But I mean, it was nice to see that swing there because I think you guys only needed like a base hit or something to win the game.
Yeah. I mean,
At-
if there are so for all you softball players who are watching this Barranquilla 2018 team had Taryn Bello, Megan King, Alicia Ocasio, Kiana Diaz, Jenna Cosa. I mean, we had a Jamie Hoover, Francesca Torraca, Alicia Duracio. I know she had an interview with you guys.
yeah,
We had a super team. A super team. I mean, all these girls are superstars at their colleges, UF, UW, FSU, and then the fact that we could all come together to represent our island, even if they weren't born in Puerto Rico. I always make
yeah.
sure as a captain to make sure that they take it just as seriously as if you were born in Puerto Rico. So just the fact that all these superstars could come together to represent our colors and get out of Barranquilla with a gold medal, that to me, was an incredible feeling.
And the one in 2018 makes it a lot different because you already had a target. I mean, everybody was saying this team definitely should we be
Hmm.
able to make it to the final. Not the gold medal, but
Right.
at least be able to get a silver. I think a bronze, yeah, it would be great because Puerto Rico, we always gonna enjoy a medal. But I
Hmm.
think bronze would be like, oh man, that's a
Yeah.
little disappointed.
Mm-mm.
So I
That
mean,
would
for
be
for
unacceptable.
you girls to be able to do it when everybody is expecting it, it's kind of
Hmm.
like when we talk about baseball, the Yankees or the Red Sox, teams that already have a good roster. I mean, making it then makes it a lot easier to walk around, enjoy the moment. But I could see you as soon as you hit that ball, you raise your arms. So I mean, you were like, there's no way this is over. This is no way. I could see your arms there, like that's it. We don't need nothing else. That's it. But I mean, I could see every day, Alex, and it's amazing. I could see it was a shot too. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
it was one of those that you hit. When you hit it, you probably didn't even felt it because that's how it is sometimes. When you hit it good,
Yeah.
you hit it good, but you didn't even feel the ball. I mean, you
Yeah.
just
I don't
gone.
even remember. I don't even remember like me running around the bases. I don't remember it. I just want you block everything out. You just do. You're just so focused and so I was so excited to be there and be the one who had that at bat. I told I was interviewed after the game and I was like I had the feeling. It's one of those things that your coaches always tell you when you're in the game. Just get ready because you could get that at bat. You could be
Mm.
that one that's going to be responsible for that. get that base hit or hit that home run. Just, you gotta make sure you're always ready. And I always had the feeling, throughout the game, I always had the feeling that I was gonna be the one who was gonna have that at bat. I don't know. I can see why, but it always felt like
Hey, Carla, I think everybody should be able to at least tell yourself that. If it doesn't happen, it
mhm,
doesn't happen. But at least you want to have
you have to be
that's your
ready.
mentality should be like that. Like I
Hmm.
want that at bat. I mean, the game keeps
Exactly.
getting
I
innings.
wanted it more than
There
anything.
you go. Innings go
Wanted it more
by.
than
I mean,
anything.
'cause you're not thinking about being the hero for Puerto Rico or nothing like that. You just want to win the game, win that game,
Exactly.
and enjoy it. I mean, the gold medal, of course, is going to come after that, but you want to win that game. So your
Hmm.
mindset, it's let's be the one. I want to be the one to
Right.
help my teammates to win that. So that's wow, that's just amazing. Okay, you pitch and you hit too. Which one you like the best? Seriously, which one you like the best? Because I mean, I know your stuff in the mound, but I also know your stuff hitting too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not much of a controlling person as person me. But I like pitching because you're in control of what's happening. Like I said, I'm really competitive, and I just like challenging hitters to be able to hit the ball. It's my job to make sure they don't. So I've always liked that challenge, just to make sure I pitch the ball, that my rice ball's working, my curve ball's working, and all that stuff to make it hard for hitters, to hit the ball. But I mean, I like hit. I like both of them, but I like that when you're pitching, you're just in control of everything that's happening.
And it's kind
So
of hard that I'm asking you that question after we see that home run. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, of course, I want her to just to be
yeah,
a hitter. But I just want the girls and the boys to know that you not only just play a position, you pitch to, and you're one of the best ones at it. And I'm pretty sure anybody that is watching this that knows me, I mean, Chico Strike goes out easy, especially baseball. We got a tough time with Carla. That would be I mean, we don't even try it. Don't even try it because we don't have no shot. Maybe
I
we
don't know.
bunt.
I don't know. Maybe
Maybe 10 more years
you guys
I could
can't hit a
chance you.
rice ball. You guys don't know how to hit a rice ball, so
No, yeah, that's there you go. I mean, it's so hard to hit that pitch. I mean, you
I
could see
know.
it, but you
I
just don't know
know.
where it's going to end up. But I mean, I mean, I just wanted the girls to know. I mean, the hitting and the pitching. But that's true. That's true. Being in control in the game. I mean, there's not a game if the pitcher doesn't throw the ball. So you really, really feel like nothing's going to happen unless I do it. Okay, you got the chance to sign a professional contract to play softball. Be honest with us. Do you ever thought that when you started 13, 14, that you say, well, I think this is going to be for me? Do you ever thought that professional? Because I mean, softball, usually, the people don't talk about professional leagues. So do you
Mm.
ever thought Karla Claudio from Caguas, Puerto Rico was going to sign a contract to play professional softball?
From San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico.
Oh, San Lorenzo. San Lorenzo. You were born in Caguas. It grew up. There you
Exactly.
go. There you go.
Uh-huh. Um, I I always wanted to. I always made it one of my goals, but I was I've always been a really conscious person. I knew how hard it was, especially for a Latina player, because you don't see a lot of Latinas playing in the MPF or in Japan or in the Dominican, in Italy. I think Giovanni Nunez from the Dominican Republic played for the team I played for in Italy. Joanna
Okay.
Gomez from Venezuela played in Carono, where I played professionally. But you don't see a whole lot of players from, Latin America playing in this professional league. So I always made it my goal. And then, playing for the national team and playing in college just helped with the whole like recruiting process. It all happened through the federation. My team in Italy communicated with Tommy Velasquez, our president for the federation, our softball federation. Tommy communicated with me, and he told me, "Hey, there's this opportunity in Italy with this team in Carono Pertucella, which is 20 minutes outside of Milan." And I was like, "Okay." And I started, doing my research and just, seeing how the league was and everything. And I was like, "I'm doing it." We started talking about money and the contract and where I was gonna live, who I was gonna live with, where I was gonna be, and all that stuff. And I didn't think it twice, before I said yes.
There you go. So, Amica, but it's true. Not too many Latinos are able to be in those leagues. But I mean, you made it. you're one of them, and you could put your name on that list and be proud of that. And again, she did a research, made sure what was going on there, what she liked, if she think it was for her or not. That's the key here. Everything. Make sure you plan everything, research everything, because I do know people like to just go with the flow and let's do it. But
Exactly.
no, know yourself. Know yourself. I mean, I know you. I know I say it a lot, dirt dog, but make sure you know yourself first.
Right.
I know what's perfect for you, and at least it makes it a lot easier to make the decision because you feel like you're making the right decision. Okay, before we talk anything else, you took Monica Abbott deep. I mean, and if you know about softball, boys and girls, it don't matter. If not, go to YouTube, go to Google. You took Monica Abbott deep. Before we keep going, in the National Pro Fastball Pitch League, Monica in the Pro League, for what I see here, is 126 wins, 41 losses. It's a 1.01 ERA. I don't think that when you're facing somebody like that, you get scared. That's your challenge. This is go. I want to do it. This is it. But what you accomplish against her, it's something that I'm pretty sure that if you took a peek at her, she probably going like, "What?" I mean, how was that moment when you took Monica Apple deep?
Mhm. So this happened in 2018 after the Barranquilla gold medal. Monica made the decision to come back and play for Team USA after they announced softball was back in the Olympics. So I hadn't played against her a whole lot. I started seeing her, I think in 2018 or maybe 2017. Whenever she made the decision and we started playing in Team USA, I started scouting her little by little. And yeah, it happened in Japan. Finally, we were, I think it was a 0-0 game, top of the second, something like that. And I don't think I even waited for a pitch. I knew she was going to come in, hard and in, and I hit a home run.
Look how nice. I hit a home run, no. But I mean, for you guys that me, baseball and professional baseball, and all that, it's for me like thinking, I'm gonna face Randy Johnson because I mean that's I mean I'm not gonna get scared to get in the box, but
Yeah.
I do want to do good, but I do know my ads are against me on that moment just because the kind of pitcher and the kind of player that person is. And Monica Abbott, if I'm not mistaken, she's the first one to sign a $1 million contract to play in the league. So I mean, we're talking about somebody that it's kind of hard just to even put the ball in play. And Karla did something amazing. I think Alex might have that video. I don't know, Alex, do you have that video there?
Monica Abbott is able to spend every single waking moment preparing to be great.
I really hadn't seen anything like her. A little hard to see the ball. I've never seen somebody throw that hard. I felt a ball go by me that fast.
She has a competitive spirit to her that is very contagious.
Anybody that watches the game that Monica throws knows that she's the best out there.
Monica Abbott is one of the greatest ever.
As a kid, I was super athletic. Once I started pitching, I felt like I kind of found a home.
Does it smell like vinegar? Yeah. So today's game day, and I'm going to be pitching tonight.
We went to the College World Series 3 times. Oklahoma City 3 times, regionals 4 times. Strikeouts are sexy. They just are.
I see what you're trying to do there, and you're not allowed to film the words on the paper.
When I first heard Monica's $1 million signing contract, I thought it was amazing.
It's like, we're going to get Monica, we're going to get Monica, we're going to get Monica, and everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
My initial reaction was just like, whoa, like there's no way she's serious. Like there's no way.
We have a salary cap of $150,000 for the team, which makes it incredibly challenging to give anybody any substantial money.
I feel like if I didn't say yes, I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror.
When she told me, I got choked up. I watched the first pro league get started.
This isn't about me anymore. This is about the future of women's sports. The perfect pitch is effortless. It feels like you're throwing at nothing. It's a little bit of a mind game. It's a little bit of a guessing game. There's nothing like a big strikeout in a game. There's nothing like it.
We're talking there. We wanted to make sure so you guys know who Monica Abbott is. And there you go. Here's Karla. We wanted to show you that first. Now we could do this. You could talk, Carla. You could tell us what you were doing or whatever happened there.
Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, I faced her in maybe a couple tournaments before. This was the World Championship in Chiba, Japan, 2018. I'm pretty sure we were undefeated. So we just kind of wanted to just keep rolling and just keep playing Puerto Rico softball. And so, like I said, I wasn't thinking much. I watched her a couple times, a couple of games, and I kind of saw it was kind of the same sequence, and she was attacking. She attacked me in a whole lot. So I mean, it's the importance of you paying attention during the game, being a student of the game, which was something Coach Erickson, which is a pitch from USA, something he encouraged us to always do. Just keep being a student of the game. Even after you graduate from here, you got to be a student of the game. Just always pay attention. And so, um, even when I didn't have successful at bats against her, I always made sure I remember where she was attacking, what my weakness was against her. And so first pitch, I didn't think, like I said, I didn't think much. I didn't want her to, I didn't want to get deep in the count with her because that's when she starts playing with you, moving the ball here and there. She has a good changeup too, so. I didn't want to give her an opportunity to start dominating me, and so first pitch, and I hit it out.
And like I always tell the girls and the boys, I mean, you have to have a plan before you step in
Mm-hmm.
the box. I mean, you can just think I'm gonna get up there and hopefully I'll get something. No, Carla had a plan. Even when, like she said, even when she had bad at bats against her, she still remember her, watch her the first inning pitching to Puerto Rico. I mean, you get the idea. At least something that she's doing, because no matter how good somebody is, let's say
Mm-hmm.
in this time pitching, no matter how good they are, there's always something they do. They always follow a
Right.
pattern or something. Even when Carla is pitching, I mean, she stays in
Right.
her plan. So if you are able to see Carla when she's warming up, when what she's doing to other hitters, you might be able to at least get an idea what plan she's trying to use against that team. So Carla knew. I mean, what's the point when you're facing good pitching? Guys, you girls, you don't want to be behind at all.
Right.
I mean, your
Right.
only shot is to try to get ahead of them. So when they try
Right.
to get ahead of you in the count, that's when you get ready. If
Right.
you have a good plan, it could happen like Carla. I mean, I don't think Carla was thinking about home run, but that's what happened. She got the perfect pitch. She's ready for it, and she got it before Monica got her. So Carla, we let's see. We got all these girls that are playing softball. We got boys, of course, playing baseball. What do you think is the main thing they have to focus if they are a pitcher? Because of course you pitch a lot. If they want to pitch, or if they are pitching right now, what would you be their main focus? What to be able to accomplish whatever they want to try to do with pitching?
I mean, I'd say maybe a couple of things. I mean, for the girls, it really just depends on their age. But if they're reaching that age, where they're playing, travel ball, maybe 16 and under or 14 and under. I think as a pitcher, the first thing I like my girls to work on is maybe just dominate their location because it does no good when you throw hard and you can't control you don't have command of the ball. So I think location. For example, me as a pitcher, I never threw you know super hard like I never threw 68, 69, 70, but I always had a good command of the zone. And I think that's really, really important. I think in both, softball and baseball, I know baseball pitchers who don't throw hard, but they can, if the catcher, calls, I don't know, maybe a
Mhm.
fastball outside, they throw it outside,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And in college, I say I didn't throw 68, 69. Maybe I threw 63, 64, which is, still really hard. But, I dominated with, curveball and my off-speed curve and stuff like that. I didn't dominate with speed. So I think location to me is really important. And as far as, physically, I think for us girls, our upper half is not as strong as boys. So I always encourage girls to work, their legs. I started running, even if I didn't like it. As a young girl, you always just want to go practice and you just want to hit and you want to, get ground balls, but you don't want to do conditioning. So as a young girl,
No.
my dad always encouraged me to run because as a pitcher, especially us girls, we gotta work our lower half because that's where most of our power is. So as a pitcher, whatever you can do at home, it doesn't have to be in the gym. It doesn't have to be with weights. Whatever you can do to strengthen your legs. That's always a good thing. I think for both softball and baseball. And there's a
Oh,
video
there
of
you
me,
go. There
my
you go.
trainer, that I'm working
Peeps.
a little bit of. I'm working a little bit. That burns. That right there burns a lot. I'm working a little bit on my balance. As a pitcher, you gotta have a lot of balance too. At USF, we used to have a long, like a wood, like a beam where we worked on our balance. So what you see there, I'm working there with my trainer Abdul Colon, who's
No.
from Puerto Rico. I started working with him, I think back in January, and here I'm doing exercises at home during the quarantine.
Okay.
Um, just so I here in Venezuela, we this was like maybe the first month. We couldn't get out of the house and even maybe go for a run. I got here from Puerto Rico, and before I got here, I was training with Abdiel at 6 in the morning. Going all out for 2 hours. Then I get here, and then there's the coronavirus, and then I find myself, without being able to do anything. So I was like, I gotta find a way to do something. I can't just stay home and not do anything because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get out of here and go to Italy. So for those of you who don't know, I was supposed to be here for 2 weeks, and then I was supposed to fly. I was supposed to fly out to Italy where I played professionally, like we were talking, and so I was like, I gotta do something. So there we were doing our exercises. Like I said, it doesn't have to do any. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, any fancy exercises. We were doing just simple stuff. Maybe some abs, maybe some cardio, working on some resistance. And then we got this. We got paper, maybe like a newspaper and tape, and we made little balls and
And
we
they
hit inside the house. We don't have it's an apartment, so we have little space. And we start hitting. My boyfriend is a captain for the Venezuelan softball team, so we both do the same thing. We both agreed that we had to do something, hit, move, do something. So
I
it's
mean,
important to always find a
you
way.
you need to do that. I mean, you need to. I mean, this is something that you are passionate about. This is kind of like it's your job. I mean, you sign professional, but this is your job. This is your life. And we also, we seeing our girls too and boys doing it at their dog. They find a way to.
Let's take
But it's good that they
videos.
could see you, players like you, doing it because I know sometimes it could get a little boring. The same thing all day. Oh, what? But trust me, once you guys go outside, once we have that chance to go back play ball, I mean, you're gonna feel like at least all you need is just game situation to get in shape completely because everything else you've been doing it, so it'll be a lot easier. I think Alex, we had a video of you throwing in the bullpen with one of your coaches. Let me see if Alex has it there.
Listen, this is, remember, relax. Relax this. Relax. Okay, can you forget everything in your head right now? Okay, we don't need you thinking about anything else. Just everything just flows. From this point, as I land, let your hand get down in here. Remember what we talked about with your hand, right? This leads you. Got it? Let your hand lead you right now. Now, understand that if you chuck this ball and it hits the backstop, does it matter right now? No, but make sure you're allowing your hand to get into the zone. Because if you don't, yeah, you're gonna get caught behind every time. So relax this arm and make sure that when you're coming down, you're coming all the way down, letting your hand get to here, snap it there, then let your hand finish. Because you're trying to get here and yank it across. When you do that, you're gonna hurt your arm. Let your hand get to the bottom. My hand gets in a good position and then I finish it, that's when you're the best. Okay, and you gotta trust your stuff because you have great spin, trust it.
Wow. 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 I mean, you could add something if you had to add something to that USF bullpen session that you had there with the assistant coach.
Coach Mo, man, I love Coach Mo, and actually she went with us to Lima where we had the Pan American Games where we won our last bronze medal. I like you saw on the video, we had a great relationship, and I knew the girls were gonna like her. She's a player coach. She doesn't only coach you. She was like a mother to me when I was at USF. All the good advice she gave me. She was your friend. She was your coach. She was your mother. And we needed somebody like her. And she played professionally in the U.S. She played at USF. She's a great, great coach. And like you saw there, I was a little frustrated in the first game. This was during the game. I was a little frustrated because my best pitch is my curve, and when your best pitch isn't working and you're about to go end the game, it gets you get a little desperate, a little frustrated. So just not a lot of coaches can guide you like she did, and it just took a little bit of her just saying, hey, just make sure your hand gets through here, because maybe a lot of girls tend to do this. I've seen girls, especially pitchers, they want to throw hard before they can even, control their curve or control their fastball or, have good command of their pitches. So I always, and even hitting, I always just want to hit the ball really hard. And I always wanted to throw really hard. And that was doing the opposite for me. I was trying too hard and it was just completely doing the opposite for me. And then when I started to loosen up and just being more in control of my body, I started to realize, hey, like I'm throwing a little harder and I'm hitting the ball harder without with less effort. Everything just seemed effortless, and that's something she showed me. That's what she was like, hey, just make sure your hand gets through here. You don't have to try too hard. You don't have to yank it. You don't have to try. You don't have to throw it hard. You just gotta make sure your hand slows, it gets through, through your legs, through your hip, and just everything started working.
That was pretty good. I mean, that was pretty good. Ed. The way we, you see, Alex. You see, Alex know how to do
I
this. You
love
see,
this. Oh my goodness.
we
I
got. You see,
love
Alex know how to do this. You see.
I knew you could catch, but man, oh
I
my
mean,
god.
I mean, and it's amazing. I mean, you 3 months in Venezuela. Of course, I mean, anything that just looks like Puerto Rico at the moment is gonna drive you to another level. And look at that! Look at that!
Oh my god.
Wow! Wow! That was your graduation, Danny.
That was my master's degree graduation from the University of Florida. That's something else I got out of softball.
You see, girls, boys, look. I mean, you got another example here with Carla that softball have given her, I think probably way more than she ever imagined. I mean, you could have all
Oh
these
yeah.
goals. We could all have these goals. I mean, but
Oh yeah.
not because you don't make that main goal one day means everything is wrong or something. I didn't make it to the big leagues, but that doesn't mean that baseball didn't took me to places that helped me a lot, helped me grow, gave me something that I would never forget. Went to places like Carla. Carla's been in a lot of places. The softball took her a lot of places. Baseball took me a lot of places. So trust me. I mean, my goal wasn't reached. That is the big league. But every other goal that I came up with, we reached it. We love it. We enjoy it, and we could walk, with our head up and say, we did everything we can. We gave it everything I have. So make sure you always give it 100%, guys and girls, because that's the only thing is gonna make you feel better. Give you 100% and let everything else happen. And this is where you work. You're working right now. You're part of this in the Puerto Rico Baseball Academy High School, don't you?
Yes, I started working here last February. I That's something else that was not in my plans, but I'm glad I got the call from Edwin Mercado, who was he's the founder of this program, the Puerto Rico Baseball Academy in high school. It's mainly a baseball academy, but this year, Coach Edwin had the initiative of adding softball. I've always thought the girls in our island need something like this. They need to, like I told them, in Japan, they take this, it's like a job. So they're practicing all day long. They're doing all these repetitions. So that's why they're best in the world. I think that's what we're lacking. We're lacking a little bit more. I'd say, I don't know if seriousness is the word, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the girls need something like the academy. They do both things there. They do, like you're seeing right here, you're in the classroom and you have your softball facilities in one place. And what I like about that is that the routine, the structure is really similar to what you do in the United States. So if you dream, if girls in Puerto Rico dream about going to the U.S. and being a student athlete, I think once you make it out of that academy, I think you're 100% ready, because you do school in the morning and then you do that's the way I did it. And know every school is different, but you do school in the morning and then you do softball in the afternoon. So I think it's a great initiative. I think I personally, as an instructor there, I'm trying to get more girls to join us, because, like I said, I think we have the talent, but we're lacking the repetition. I know girls in the United States, they have their people that they go to for lessons, and they play a
Yeah.
lot more than we do in Puerto Rico. So they're way ahead of us when it comes to games, practices, clinics, camps, all that stuff. So if we can do a little bit more of that, I think little by little. I moved back home to. I was in the U.S. for 8 years, and I moved back home to do exactly that. Just
Okay.
make sure I share all the information that I learned in the U.S. and about everything, about the structure, camps, all that stuff, and just make sure I can share it with the girls, and maybe one day we can reach that level.
Well, and now we could say that Carla is part of the pioneers. He's becoming a pioneer in Puerto Rico. We know that it always takes a little while, but it's time. I mean, this era is time for boys and girls be completely equal in the way they do things, the way they have the chances to go places. And I know in Puerto Rico we do need that. I'm with you. I'm one of the guys that keep saying that. We need to get the girls ready the same way we get the boys ready. We need to get the help for the girls the same way we get the help for the boys, because yeah, because I mean, you girls go there and I mean, you give it everything you got. You play as hard as the boys do, and you're trying to reach the same thing. Try to bring a gold medal. Try to put Puerto Rico way high, the flag way high, where places people had not be able to do it. But we
Right.
need help. Yeah, definitely. It's good to have Carla in there. So Carla, let's talk a little before we go. We're right here, almost at the end. Uh, you were you were a control pitcher and all that. What kind of drills do you think will be the best ones for like somebody that is watching the interview and it's a pitcher, but it's kind of like it feels same way as you. I don't throw very hard. I mean, what can I do to do some drills that I make sure that I hit the spot most of the time.
Right. So when I got to USF, like I said, I could move the ball well. It wasn't like I didn't have a big problem with my command, but when I got to USF, they started working on my body alignment a lot. So like I talked to you about that long beam, which I'm sure you guys have seen what it is, but it's like
Hmm.
long piece of wood. It's a long piece of wood that you get on, and you start pitching just like you do, on the dirt. So anything that has to do with the alignment of your body. I like to do just a lot of static, just without moving my legs, just doing circles, just making sure I hit the same spot every time, every time, every time. So anything that has to do with the alignment, that drills with that piece of wood that I'm talking about, I like it
Hmm.
a lot because it works on your balance too. So when I started to do all that at USF, that's when I realized that I didn't have to put that much effort to, hit that spot or throw as hard as I was. It was like Monica said, the best pitch is effortless. So you don't have to try to throw hard for you to throw hard. So that's something I realized when I started to do all these drills, balance. Like I said, anything that has to do with alignment.
There you go, girls. So make sure you write that down. Coaches, we're gonna keep working with that. We're doing them both, baseball and softball. Of course, the balance is very, very key. But for the girls, since they pitch the other way around, definitely the balance it's something that it's gonna help you a lot, because baseball is kind of like a lot easier to move around and find different way to release point. But softball, your release point,
Right.
there's not that many areas that you could go with the release point. So you really need to make sure you work on your balance so you could, find the best way to release the ball. So, Carla, I mean, we got our buddy here, Daniel Soto from DT Sport News. He made this art for you, like he always does to every guest that we bring here at the Facebook Live of Dirt Dog Sports. So we're gonna get this to you so you could have it. Well, hopefully you could have it wherever you're supposed to be, not still, ¿verdad? In some place that you don't want to be yet, but still. But you could have it with you, and and have a little moment of this moment with us here.
Wow, wow, wow. This is awesome. I mean, I've gotten a lot of, paintings but this is incredible. So, Daniel Soto, thank you so much. Gracias por esto tan bonito y lo voy a guardar como un recuerdo.
They say we did it in Spanish because Danny's kind of like us. Our English is not the best in the world, so Danny wanted to hear Spanish. So we got
Muy
Daniel
bonito,
Soto
muy bonito.
doing that. So Carla, thank you for being here. I mean, girls and boys, you have here a professional softball player, captain of the Puerto Rico national team, like we said before, gold medal. I mean,
I
went
didn't
to
tell
junior
you.
college. What else you got?
I didn't tell you. I forgot. I don't know if I told Alex, or I don't know if you guys knew, but I was elected to the Santa Fe Athletics Hall of Fame. But
You
because
kid.
of the coronavirus,
Oh
they had to
man.
postpone the ceremony. It was supposed to be this past April, but they had to postpone the ceremony. So that's
So
so
now you're a Hall of Famer. That's what you're saying. You're a Hall of
yes.
Famer. Well, I mean,
From
wow.
Lorenzo, Puerto Rico.
And I have to say Spanish, girls and boys. Give me a second. Felicidades, Carla, porque de verdad que pues
Gracias.
no sabía, dejándolo para lo último, te estoy velando. Te estás pareciendo a
Gracias.
Alex tirando cosas ahí, te estoy pareciendo. Pero de verdad, felicidades. Congratulations, definitely. I mean, from the whole Dirt Dog Sports staff, the
Thank you so
kids,
much.
the girls, the parents, the coaches, everybody. Congratulations for that news, and thank you for choosing Dirt Dog Sport Facebook Live to let us know because wow, I mean we know about you, of course, Alex and I from our family in Puerto Rico. We know about you for a long, long time, and your dad, your whole family. But getting these news, I mean, it made me feel like my sister just told me that she's going to the Hall of Fame. What? So that's
Feel free to
amazing.
share. I mean, I wanted to do it with you guys. This is a great opportunity. So I wanted to take the time to tell you guys. And I know I want girls to know that, to dream big. That's always been my thing. Dream big. I don't come from a big place, but, I always dream big. So here I am. And I want more girls from Puerto Rico and from the U.S. to be, get much further than I did.
Wow, man, I mean, I'm ready to cry, Alex. You see, we cannot do that, but
Ah!
I'm not. You see, Don Connor knew why he wasn't here. He knew when to take an interview off. I'm gonna get you done because now I have to deal with this. You should be here talking while I do something else because I got two girls too, and I always, man, I always tell one of them just grab a bat or something, But they try, but they're more into TikTok and dancing and all that than what the softball. But it's pretty nice to hear that. Wow, I don't know what else to say, man. But congratulations.
I went from getting hit in the forehead to a Hall of Fame. So if I did it, I'm sure a lot more girls can do it. I'm sure about that.
There you go. Don't you see, girls? That's one more thing I forgot to tell you. When she said that, I forgot to tell the girls and the boys that sometimes they get mad at me because they give me that look when they get hit right away. Oh, I can't play, coach. She said, no, take it easy, but this is okay. Don't quit. But they always give me that look of what? I
You
heard.
gotta keep trying.
So Carla, hopefully you could get back to wherever you want to be right now. You don't have to, be there. Hopefully this pandemic finds a way to, I mean, God finds a way to get this, at least control, and you could go ahead and keep going with your journey and whatever you have to do. So we wish you the best. Good luck y como siempre, gracias por ese ratito, de verdad, siempre estamos pendientes a ti. Te queremos un montón y olvídate, te deseamos lo mejor, Claudia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've known Alex and the whole Dirt Dog Sports organization. You guys can count on me. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thank you. Alex, take it away.